How do you build a thriving, cosmopolitan city in the middle of a barren desert? A city with lush gardens, massive swimming pools, and enough water for 30,000 people. When you only get 3 inches of rain a year. This isn't science fiction. This is Petra. For centuries, this legendary city was the capital of a lost kingdom that mastered the desert and controlled the world's most valuable trade routes. But how did they do it? And where did they go? This is the story of the Nabataeans, the forgotten geniuses who carved an empire out of solid rock. The story of Petra begins with a nomadic Arab tribe called the Nabataeans. These weren't just wanderers. They were masters of the desert. Their secret weapon? The camel. They knew how to raise and use these animals to unlock the unforgiving landscape, allowing them to travel farther and carry more than anyone else. And they chose their capital's location with pure strategic genius. Petra is a natural fortress. The main entrance is this incredible, mile-long canyon called the Sick. It's a defensive bottleneck that makes a direct attack almost impossible. In 312 BC, they proved it by defeating the army of one of Alexander the Great's successors. This victory secured their independence and set the stage for their next move. With their safety guaranteed, the Nabataeans became the ultimate middlemen of the ancient world. Petra was perfectly placed to be the toll booth connecting the spice and incense routes of Arabia with the massive markets of Egypt, Greece, and Rome. They didn't just trade, they provided safety, shelter, and most importantly, water to caravans, charging tolls and taxes for the service. Frankincense, myrrh, spices, silk, ivory, all of it passed through Petra, making the Nabataeans fabulously wealthy. And with that wealth, they began to build the impossible. In the desert, water is more valuable than gold, and the Nabataeans became masters of collecting it. They faced two huge problems: not enough rain, and when it did rain, it came in violent flash floods. So they engineered a brilliant solution. First, they built a dam at the entrance of the Sick, diverting floodwaters through a massive tunnel they carved through solid rock. This protected their city and showed everyone who entered, we control nature here. Then, they carved hundreds of channels into the cliffs, funneling every precious drop of rainwater into a massive network of over 200 hidden underground cisterns. These waterproof reservoirs could store months' worth of water, safe from evaporation and enemies. Archaeologists have found over 125 miles of clay pipelines that distributed this water to every corner of the city, feeding public fountains, baths, and lush gardens. Imagine you just spent weeks crossing the barren desert. You arrive at Petra, and you see fountains, pools, and orchards. It was a breathtaking display of power and wealth. It was paradise engineered. Money, they had the water, and they even grew their own food on ingenious terrace farms cut into the hillsides. What did they build? They built this Al-Khazna, or the treasury. It's the first thing you see when you exit the Sick, and it is breathtaking. Its name comes from a legend about a pharaoh's treasure hidden in the urn at the top. But archaeologists are sure it was actually the monumental tomb for the greatest Nabataean king, Aretas IV. And look at the design. It's pure Greco-Roman. This wasn't a copy. It was a deliberate statement, showing their powerful trading partners that they were sophisticated, worldly, and an equal player on the world stage. But Petra wasn't just a city of tombs. It was a bustling metropolis. They carve a massive theater right out of the rock, capable of seating 8,000 people. The colonnaded street was the commercial heart of the city, lined with shops, markets, and fountains. And the massive Great Temple complex wasn't just for worship. It contained a council chamber where officials met to run the empire. We even have evidence of a multicultural society: Nabataeans, Greeks, Romans, and Egyptians all living and working together. So what happened? How does a city like this become lost? It wasn't one single event, but a slow decline. In 106 AD, the Romans annexed the kingdom peacefully, but they moved the regional capital to another city, and Petra's political importance began to fade. Then the turning point. In 363 AD, a massive earthquake struck, shattering buildings and, most critically, crippling their complex water system. The city's very lifeblood was severed. At the very same time, the world was changing. Traders found it cheaper and faster to ship goods by sea, bypassing Petra completely. Its economic engine sputtered and died. Without money and without water, the city was slowly abandoned. By the 8th century, Petra was empty, left to the desert sands and the local Bedouin tribes. It faded from world history, becoming a thing of myth. It wasn't until 1812 that a Swiss explorer named Johann Ludwig Burckhardt, disguised as a pilgrim, convinced a local guide to lead him to the legendary lost city. Its rediscovery stunned the world. The story of Petra is a powerful lesson in human ingenuity. The Nabataeans didn't just survive the desert. They bent it to their will. They engineered an oasis, built a commercial empire, and created a multicultural society that blended cultures from across the ancient world. Though their kingdom is long gone, their legacy is carved in stone. Today, as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the new 7 wonders of the world, Petra continues to inspire awe, reminding us of the incredible things we can achieve in the most impossible of places. What part of Petra's story amazes you the most? The water engineering? The architecture? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss our next adventure. Thanks for watching.